Your mind is running a program. Here's how I know. Have you ever tried to meditate? What happened? My guess is, the same thing that happens to everybody. You were like, okay, no more thoughts. Quiet the mind. And maybe, just maybe, you got 10 seconds of silence before the thoughts started up again. No, I said quiet. And your mind was like, nah. But here's the real question. If your mind continued to create thoughts even though you didn't want it to, who are you? Who is telling your mind to be quiet? The most important lesson of meditation is the one you learn the moment you try it. By simply allowing yourself to process what just happened, you come to the only logical conclusion. You are not your mind. You are the conscious observer. If you're not your mind, then what is it? What is deciding what you think or whether to think at all? Look at your body. Your heart beats, your lungs expand, your kidneys filter, all without you consciously doing a thing. Sure, you can move your limbs at will, but how often do you move them unconsciously? Think about when you get nervous and suddenly become hyper-aware of what your hands are doing. That's because most of the time, you aren't controlling them consciously. Your mind operates in a similar way. You can direct your thoughts, just as you can direct your breath. But much of it happens automatically. The good news. Just as you can train your body to move differently, you can train your mind to think differently. A dancer trains to make pointing their toes automatic. A meditator trains to extend moments of inner silence. And you can train your mind to rewrite its program, to one that's actually conducive to your success. That is what magic rituals are for. You've probably heard the saying, if you want to get from point A to point B, you have to know where point B is. But here's what no one talks about, you also have to know where point A is. Most people assume they know themselves. But the reality, they don't. Realizing that you are not your mind is just the first crack in the illusion. If the body's program is about survival, what is the mind's program designed to protect? Your identity. Your ego. Your mind is programmed to keep you alive, but it thinks you are your thoughts, your beliefs, your sense of self. And just like the body protects itself from physical death, the mind protects itself from ego death. Your mind filters information. It refuses to process ideas that could destroy your self-image. Ever had a friend in a toxic relationship? The truth was obvious to everyone but them. You tell them. They make excuses. Push further, and they get angry. Maybe they cut you out completely. That's the mind protecting itself. And it does this to you, too, every day, filtering out uncomfortable truths, blocking opportunities outside your comfort zone. Most people think they want the truth, until they are faced with it. The truth is not always kind. It does not comfort you. It does not spare your feelings. But it does set you free. We block out opportunities to improve our lives because they fall too far outside our comfort zones, leaving us convinced of our own victimhood. Our mind protects us from discomfort by filtering reality, creating a narrative where we are right, where we are justified, where we are safe. But this protection comes at a cost. History repeatedly shows how entire populations have believed things that weren't true because the propaganda made them afraid to face the truth. And on a personal level, we do the same thing. We confuse our beliefs with facts because our mind will not consider the possibility that we are wrong. And we don't just deceive ourselves, we impose these falsehoods on others. People who claim to be against forcing their beliefs on others often do exactly that, without realizing it. We make the same mistakes over and over again, because we cannot learn from a mistake until we admit we made one. But the mind resists. It makes excuses. It shifts blame. It protects the ego at all costs, even if it means keeping us trapped in cycles of suffering. All of our minds are doing this to us, behind our backs, without our consent. It is up to each individual to make a conscious effort to find out what their mind is hiding from them. Shadow work is about breaking the cycle. It is about confronting the stories you tell yourself. It is about looking into your own eyes and seeing what is really there, not what you wish was there, not what you were taught to see, but what is actually there. This practice is not easy. It will make you uncomfortable. But that discomfort is where the transformation happens. The truth is not a punishment. The truth is power. And once you have the courage to see it, you can finally begin to change your life in ways you never thought possible. So how do we break free? 1. Expand your comfort zone. Start by embracing your authentic self. If magic is part of you, own it. 2. Beginner practices cultivate emotional stability, helping you recognize and control the knee-jerk rage response to uncomfortable truths. 3. Ritual journaling and progress tracking reveal unconscious patterns and changes. 4. Invoking and banishing rituals let you experiment with different aspects of the self, breaking limiting identities. 5. Intermediate and advanced rituals develop different aspects of your psyche, making you aware of strengths and weaknesses. 6. Working with archetypal energies expands your perception beyond everyday ego constraints. 7. And finally, shadow work directly confronts what your mind is hiding from you. If you're ready to incorporate the power of truth into your life, I've created an audio guide for the Mirror of Truth ritual. A shadow work ritual designed to make the unconscious conscious. But remember, this isn't about pointing fingers at others. It's about looking within. The Mirror of Truth is a practice of deep, uncompromising self-reflection. It is a way to see yourself without illusion, without excuses, and without the comforting lies that keep you stuck. No matter what you want in life, happiness, success, making a difference, you will never get there if your decisions are based on illusions. The truth, no matter how painful, is always empowering. Magic is a tool. A tool to help you see clearly. A tool to free you from the invisible chains of your own mind. So, the only question left is, are you ready to see the truth?